got a nice big setup going on. Not a big setup, but a decent setup. We got a 50th birthday party. We got a jazz player. We have a guitarist, and they all need to plug into my sound. Fortunately, I bought the right touch mix with me because I didn't know this was gonna happen. So I easily could have bought a small setup, but I didn't. Right now I have the 932 RCFs and my 804s, the combination I love. And I got it playing pretty loudly right now, clear. So I want y'all to hear it. I'm gonna attach another video so I can hear it. But by the way, the sound is not up at all clearly because you can hear me talking. But when I bring it up, I'm gonna do some more recording. So I'm gonna show you what I did in the back end. So it's funny, something just happened just now. So I'm not providing the dry ice or the sparkles. The lady got somebody else to do it. Maybe they were cheaper. And I let them plug in the dry ice machine into my setup, which was fine. Which I normally don't. I tell them plug in the wall, but I was like, you know what? I'm not pushing too much power. And then out of nowhere, the host was about to make an announcement, and the mic stopped working. Then my second mic wasn't working. So then my mic, hold on a second. So my whole display was off. So I'm like, wait a minute, what's going on? So I'm scrambling. I go underneath, I check the wires, it's plugged in. I unplug it, plug it somewhere else, the mic works. Then I look around, the guy ends up plugging the dry ice machine and the cold sparks into my system. And what do you think happened? Of course, it tripped the breaker. So I have two different breakers in my system. So he tripped one breaker, that's why everything didn't go off. And I realized it. He didn't tell me, I realized the breaker was tripped. And I'm like, what is it? I look, and he's like, oh yeah, I plugged in. I'm like, bruh, how you gonna plug everything into? I mean, anyway, but he unplugged it. I got everything back up and running, and now we're rocking. That's why it's important. You gotta watch when people plug into your stuff. Some people don't know any better. Then again, some people might sabotage you. But anyway, let me show you what's going on behind the scenes. So I got the saxophone player. I gave him, that's his wireless. That's his little wireless connector right there. So I gave him that line. And I briefly, I don't know if you guys can see it, actually even tapped in and put sax so I can see what it is. The host has some music, because I guess the host is an artist too. So I just tapped that in also so I can know what it is. So I like to label things. It takes 2 seconds to label it. Pretty much you touch it. Once you touch it, you hit setup. In setup, it's right there. You touch that, and then you type in what you need to type in. You know what I mean? So that's that simple. Then you go back. So I like to do that to be organized. I'll erase it later. You see my mic, host music, sax, DJ controller volume, main volume. Then I have a sub on my auxiliaries where I can provide, adjust the sub volume as needed. So that's why I love the touch mix. Simple and easy. But here's a close up. The setup. This I haven't plugged in yet. This is an emergency. 2 speakers, wireless. They're not as good as this system, the BLX system, but it's decent. But I have it as an emergency for whatever reason. I got the rack rider. See, the voltage is kind of low, and that's because this guy got the dry ice machine, which I'm about to tell him to take it off and give him direct. Have the mics here, 2 of them, of course. I love the mics because when they're on, they tell you how much time is left, so you can just, see the battery situation. Touch mix, draw. This right here is the second. Get a better angle. So right now he said he wants some bass. I'm gonna give him what he wants. Alright, so he wanted some bass on his line. So I gave him some bass on the line out music. Just now live, as you can tell. And right here, like I said, this is second power conditioner. So everything's running through a power conditioner. This actually is not connected. I just never took it out yet. This was a, what was this? This was a compressor for mics. Samsung, it was just there. I just never took it out, but I'll probably place something in there. And then this is just a bunch of outlets. Also, connected to the power conditioner. It's a power surge. And then here's the connection I made. As you can tell, power, tops, subs. Wow, that's loud. And then I have this for my videographers when I do weddings. They plug in. Everything's set up in here for them. And this, I'm gonna create something for it. I'm not sure what it is. Might be a monitor or something. But that's the behind the scenes. Then I have a bunch of junk over here, which I'm actually gonna get a toolbox and put all stuff in a toolbox. That is a monitor that I connect at times. I used to have one up here, if you guys remember. But I got rid of it because it wasn't loud enough. When I played, it like drowned out the music or would stop working. So I'd rather leave this room for me to do what I need to do. I got my wireless mics in the charger. Got the Wolf Mix already connected, so when I have my moving heads, it's already attached. Everything's plugged up. Got this little plug up section right here. Extra power. All right. And I got my monitor right there. And then of course, my CDJs, my S11, and everything's wired up. So everything's simple. Matter of fact, plug my battery in. Alright, battery plugged in, and that's it. It's the back line. So once again, I know I haven't shown it in a long time. So it's important to know sound when you're doing these events. Because I don't know if you saw me like back and forth for the last couple clips. The saxophone guy was complaining, the sound doesn't sound good. It's not coming out. So I connected. So the saxophone guy had a lot of issues with what was going on. He's like, the music's not sounding right, the music's not coming out right, it's not full, I don't hear no bass. And he kept complaining, I kept turning him up, but he wasn't getting what he wanted. Now I'm standing behind the speaker, so I realized there's certain things you gotta know when you're doing sound. So let me show you what he gave me. He's playing Bluetooth from his phone to this device that he gave me. So I plugged in the device into my touch mix via a 1/4 inch, right? All his cables. 1/4 inch line right there. So he plugged the 1/4 inch. The other side is a mini jack, and the back right there. So he's wondering why he's not getting the sound he wants, and he's complaining. And I said, all right, so now let me help you. So I looked, and when you have a 1/4 inch jack sometimes, you know there's mono and a stereo. If you plug it all the way in, you're not gonna get all the sound. You're gonna have to plug it out if you have the wrong cable. So I plugged it out, and then he got the full sound. And I tell him, I was like, listen, that's on you, not on me. So I was able to help. That's why it's good to learn certain things right here. And based on that, now you got the full sound and everything's good to go. So some of the things that happens live, I need to start going live and stop just recording things so you guys can really experience the things that I go through. But we're still in the early stage of the party. He's doing his little sax thing, and I'll get the music started later on. Right now, people are just filling in, getting comfortable, eating appetizers. We're gonna turn up the energy later. So once again, the power got tripped out. And let me let you know why I like this rack rider. So you remember in the last video, it was at like 101. So based on that, I could tell the voltage was too low. So I knew the power was gonna go out again. So I waited though, and it did trip out. So I told him, listen, you gotta unplug your dry station, you gotta plug it on the wall, which is normally what you're supposed to do. But that's why I like the rack rider, because it kind of gives you a sign, all right, there's too much going on, too much load in here. Because right now I have my left sub and my left top connected in here as well. So if I would have had the right sub and right top, then I maybe would have dropped down to like 118, 117, and that's still safe. But once you see 101, 109, one whatever, you know it's gonna trip soon. One hard bass note, and it's gonna knock out. So you definitely don't want to have your dry ice machine plugged into your setup. So I gotta tell you one of my pet peeves, something that bothers me. You guys know I like clean setups. So when the client books somebody else to do dry ice and the sparks, I'm fine. It's enough money to go around for everybody. But it's the fact that it's not neat. A lot of people are just messy. Let me show you what they made my setup look like. tape down. Everything's looking all crazy. And the thing is, people are gonna think it's me. I care. He don't care. Fortunately, when he's done, he's gonna plug it and get out of here. But I like when people walk in the building, they see a nice clean setup, they're like, oh, I like that. But this right here looks like make me look crazy. You agree, comment, cuz